We know that concerning the season, in the time of Noah, up to the time of Noah, from Adam, there was no rain.
There was no rain. Okay.
The earth was watered through the moisture of the morning, the dew, okay, which was a blessing from Elohim. When Elohim decided to destroy the creation and to preserve Noah and his family, according to scientists, in order to have a change in the life, we need a change of everything. This means it's not enough that there is a flood. Remember that before Noah, people were living almost 1,000 years, 969 for Methuselah, and Adam himself lived 930 years. So, and we see that it is after the flood that the life began to decrease, because we see Abraham live 179, I think 75 or 79 years, and so on it declined more and more. So there was a change. The change is due to also the composition of the air, the environment, the oxygen, etc. So I am not a scientist to explain that, but it is part of it. And the earth underwent a process. So there is one theory, we say there was a big comet coming close to the earth, so close that passing by, he pushed the earth out of its axis and put it 23.5 degrees, the position we have today. And this is how the season came. Before, there was no snow and ice in the North Pole and in the South Pole. Everything was perfectly, because the sun ray reached the earth on the north and the south on the same level, everyone. It's only after the flood that the earth began to have the season, as we read in the book of Bereshit in chapter 8. You see, while the earth remained, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Bereshit 8:22. We see that at this time, now Elohim tell Noah that the earth will have now the season, seed time and harvest, opposite, cold and heat, summer and winter. Okay, we see that, and day and night shall not cease. So it's very interesting to see that now we have the notion of the season. Before we don't have. Before everything is running the same. You have to see that to understand better. The more close we come to the equator, this line, this imaginary line, which divides the earth in two parts, the less change you have in the weather. The more closer you are to the equator, like in the Philippines, you can see that the weather is not the same if you are in the north of Manila and if you are in Mindanao. Mindanao is closer to the equator than Manila. You understand? So you have a difference in the climate. The climate is different. But as we have spent time there, we can see that between the winter season and the summer season in the Philippines, we have a difference from 30 minutes, the sunset, around 30 minutes maximum, 20 to 30 minutes. Why? Because the Philippines, in its geographical position, receive the sun ray the same in the summer and in the winter. Meanwhile, in Europe, which is much higher, then the Earth is not on the right position. It's not right. It's 23.5. The sun, when it turns in his circle, when in a circle the Earth,
orbit.
In his orbit, it doesn't touch the Earth in the same way in the summer and in the winter. Proof is, here now place, you can look, and you look now when the sun get up now,
Rise.
when it rise now, and when it rise in December, you have a big difference because you have to put your hands. Hands, it say when you put it straight, so it's 15 degrees. When you see that, 15 degrees. Then you will have a lot of difference between the position of the sun in the east in the morning from May to September. And after that, you will see that the sun will rise much lower, much lower.
Yeah, because sometimes it goes here and sometimes it goes here.
Yeah, that is winter is here and summer is here. You see, so we see that the sun ray reach lesser. This is why it is colder. But in the Philippines, it doesn't happen. Why? Because Philippines is close to the equator. It's the same in the Réunion. It's the same all the country around the globe who are close to the equator. They don't have a big difference, you know.
In the time, okay.
Yeah, that is the point. The point is there.
Because Europe is we're in the high.
Yeah.
Close to the, you know, in the northern hemisphere, right?
Yeah, but you can be in the north or in the south hemisphere. If you are closer to the equator, you have no difference, of course. But when you go more to the south, you will have a difference. Okay.
South is different because
because we have the Arctic and Antarctic. Arctic and Antarctic is both. You have ice.
Ice. Yeah.
Both. Okay. Why? Just because the sun ray do not reach but now the sun is moving.
The sun is moving.
Yeah, the sun is moving. Yeah, of course. And it's not around. It's an ellipse. So this is why you have the season.
Yeah, the season.
You have the season. But now, let's imagine that Elohim, when the Mashiach come back, he will set back the earth in its original position. Okay? So you have two ways. Either it is in one time and we'll have everything will fall down, will collapse, and the earth will be put 23 degrees straight, back to what it was before Noah. Or he does it slowly, so that we have a change outside, okay, which is a natural change because Elohim is putting the earth straight again until the time of Mashiach. Don't forget, before Noah, people live 1,000 years. When Mashiach comes, it is said that people will live 1,000 years or so. You see? Yeah. So we go back to the position people had before Noah.
Yeah.
So it's not something surprising. Okay, in the mind, how can a man live suddenly 1,000 years? But it's not only that the earth will be put straight, it's also the composition of the earth. The sun. No, the earth. The earth will go from 23 to 0.
The position will change.
Yes, of course.
At the time of Noah.
This is why you will have no more ice and in the north and we will finish. We finish. Everything will be watered perfectly, and this is why the earth will bud, because it's not only the axis will change; it's also the component of the earth that the people live, because those who are spiritual, who are with Mashiach, okay, they will be spiritual beings. But the other one who go through the tribulation, they will live also 1,000 years. Yeah. So these are not spiritual, at least in the beginning. Okay, so their life will be also changed to 1,000 years. 1,000 years, not eternity. 1,000 years. Yeah. You understand the difference? So for that, we need to find ourselves back to the position it was with Noah before the flood. The people lived 1,000 years. They were wicked people. Okay.
They're also living 1,000 years.
They were also living 1,000 years.
So